tell us how many booze you've had today.
I've had like 5, 6, 9 point whatever percent alcohol drinks plus a salty dog. I'm quite.
You did the alcohol.
Oh yeah. That's how I got the courage to go see my new great niece, because like I'm afraid of babies.
You and me both, brother. But instead of plucking up the courage,
babies.
horrible little plague carriers.
They're nothing to be afraid of. I just don't like them.
Oh no, she's adorable in like a, like I mean, in an ugly way. Babies are all ugly, but she's cute, but in an ugly, like a Shar-Pei.
Hug.
Disagree. I think, like, newborn, like the minute they were born, babies are a little alien looking, but a couple days later, they're very cute.
She's got very chubby cheeks.
Yeah. The little cheekies and
The
little
good
eyes
stuff.
and the tiny little fingies and tiny little toes.
And she didn't cry or nothing. She didn't even try to suck on my nipples, which is weird. Not that she did. Not that it's weird that she didn't try. I just find it weird that babies try to suck on nipples instinctually.
Yeah,
Why were
because that's
you
where the
holding-
food comes from.
Why were you holding the baby without a shirt? That's weird.
I was wearing a shirt.
Yeah,
His nipples were just very hard.
Especially, like, I remember the first time I held a breastfed baby, and I had, like, since I was like a child, I hadn't held a breastfed baby, and the baby just was like, "Oops,
Give me them titties.
I'm like, "Little girl, my eyes are up here. Stop it."
You greedy little child.
It's like, yeah, no, these are not food. I'm sorry.
That's got to be super confusing for a child too.
Yeah.
If that's where all the food comes from,
What
and
is
then someone
this?
without
What is
the
this?
food producing has the same appendage, and the baby's just like, "Where's the food? Why am I
Yeah.
being held without food in my mouth?"
That's exactly.
No,
what
I
it
was
is. You
holding
got
it in a
boobs and you
very
got boobs.
non-food way.
That's how I always hold babies, in a non-food way, by the foot, just arms reach extended as far as possible from me.
Note to self.
Well, anyway, a little Helena is beautiful. I'm gonna call her Lena because her parents don't care. So there you go.
I like that.
Also, it's
Little Helena.
the main character of my favorite anime. Yes, Frakes, I'm talking about an anime.
Lena.
It's Slayers. It's the Slayers.
I've never watched that one.
It's fun if you can find it.
The one anime he hasn't seen.
No, there's a bunch. There's a bunch I haven't seen. There's a bunch that I started, was just like, no, this is dumb.
Yeah, that happens
But-
from time to time.
Legendary Hero is Dead is not one of those.
I know
That
one
was
anime
fun.
that I will never recommend to anybody, despite having watched it all the way through. And it's like now and then, here and there. Wow, what a bummer.
Dude,
That's the whole title?
No, that's my commentary on the fucking anime. Wow, what a bummer.
that was your lie in April for me. I fucking ugly weeping cried, snot running out of my face, cried at the end of that. I was like, why did I subject myself to this? This hurts my entire everything. But it's kind of bittersweet.
No,
But-
now and then, here and there is not bittersweet. It's just bitter.
Mhm.
Ugh. See, I don't like that.
As is just dark ass shit, start to finish.
It's like reading NTR. I'm not into that either. That always makes me feel worse.
I don't know what that is.
Netotare.
Mm.
So have you seen my friend's new podcast about One Piece?
Some piece. Yes.
It is
Some
not
piece,
for
that's
me.
right.
I started it to be a friendly viewer and left.
Well, I mean, like if you're not interested in One Piece, it's not gonna do much from you. I'm interested in One Piece, but like I'm immediately like butted up against the wall of the 1,000+ episodes.
Yeah.
So this seems like the kind of podcast that is perfect for a person that likes things to be summarized.
yeah,
Yeah,
see, that's what
Go ahead.
I plan on. Like, I started the first episode, but it was a bit long, and it was like I got to do payroll tomorrow, so yeah. And there's already another one out. There's already 2 episodes. I was like, yeah, when I do payroll,
That's
Yes.
3 hours of One Piece information.
yeah, perfect. I'm sure that'll get me through like 75, 80 episodes.
Yeah.
Or 3.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So,
mean,
yeah,
I feel like they're not. I don't know. I haven't, like I said, I haven't listened all that full, but I think that the whole point is to kind of like move it along.
Yeah. Summarize for people who haven't seen, like let you know what's going on. Let it giving you on ramps onto the show if you have
Yeah.
been avoiding it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which I have.
I like the people who are doing it. I'm just you have to be interested in the material to begin with to want to watch it. It's just not for me. That being said, the audio's good, you know, and they're fun to listen to, but it's just, it's like reading off a menu that of a restaurant I don't plan to eat at. I'm not gonna eat there. I don't care what's on the menu.
It would be like listening to your best friend do a podcast about the political condition in some fictional place that you've never heard of. That's kind of how I feel about it.
I could be into that.
I like these people, but I have no idea. I have no frame of reference for anything of what's going on now.
Well, I mean, like I've always had an interest in pirates, and it's a show roughly about pirates. So,
There's also a movie coming out, which I'm sure every anime fan is going to hate. And I'll
Is
be
it
like,
a movie
cool.
or is it a show?
I think it's a movie.
Is it?
Yeah, which means it'll wrap up a lot of stuff real fast.
I feel like, unfortunately, I don't ever want to see anything anime to live action first. That's just silly because I feel like
the Netflix show.
Yeah, you can't be as outrageous as in a way that's like acceptable and believable in live action as you can be in something that is drawn.
That's true. Go ahead.
I think the appeal of One Piece is the animation style that appeals to certain people. It's like Soul Eater or Fairy Tale. It has
It's pretty over the top. I'll give you that
kind of style to
Not
it.
mistake. It is 10 episodes a season on Netflix.
So it's going to be one season.
Yeah,
One Piece.
Yeah.
Will.
The Cowboy Bebop show, like it was fine for what it was, but it just like it can't be the same. It was pretty cool for what it was, but it can't be the same.
People hated that, and I thought it was good. There's no way One Piece, the show, is going to get well received.
Yeah.
Well, I think it'll get well watched. I'm not sure if it'll be well received.
Exactly. I feel like people are going to hate watch it so that they can be the first person online talking shit about it.
I never understood that concept of hate watching something. If I don't like it, I turn it off.
Well, what they want to do is they want to talk shit about it, but so they want to know what they're talking shit about.
Or we hate watch Secret Invasion because didn't want to be lost when the next season of Loki comes out.
Which may or may not have, even been necessary because they might just be like, that never happened. Let's
You guys
just
watching
about
us?
that.
You guys watching Ahsoka yet? Because I have not.
Yeah, we watched the first, what was it, first episode?
First 2 episodes.
First 2 episodes, whatever.
Any
was
good?
that.
Like, should I bother?
I like it.
Okay.
I've never watched Clone Wars or Rebels and only know that those are cartoons because I hang out with nerds. And I saw a review that said you have to watch these to even know what's going on in the new show. I didn't, and I still enjoyed it.
Is that Rosario Dawson?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's enough reason for me to watch it right there.
And her friend has basically the same little tubes on her head, but she's got little denim shorts to cover them up.
She's a Twi'lek.
Oh, no, they're leather.
Ooh, even better.
Wait.
Are they leather? I thought they were denim.
What's leather?
Denim. She's
On
wearing a
her head?
Canadian tuxedo
Yeah.
on her head.
What would those be called? Jet wraps?
Leku. Wait, she's not a Twi'lek at all.
No, Ahsoka's not a Twi'lek.
Yes,
But-
actually, I'm
Those are
not sure what
horns,
Ahsoka
aren't
is.
they?
Actually, I've been off Wikipedia for too long. I don't know.
I
what's
have
going
never
on.
taken the time to look any of that stuff up. I'm always surprised, especially for people who are like my age, who grew up in the age of you watch it on TV, you see it in the movies, or you have a VHS tape. Like, how do you know what they were saying sometimes? Like some of the stuff that people said, like, how did you know that stuff? How did you know all of the extended lore that was not in the
Supplementary
movie?
material, like
Read the
Yeah,
book.
WHY and how.
for the
Ahsoka's
longest time, they used to put out a Star Wars encyclopedia that would be in
Where
your
do you go
public
to find
library.
that stuff?
The
Yeah.
public
Wikipedia.
library.
Wikipedia.
Okay.
Ahsoka's
Before
a
Wikipedia
Togruta.
existed in the 80s and 90s, this is what I'm talking about. Like in the 80s and 90s, how did people know that stuff? That to
Public
me is
library.
mind-blowing. Wild. Like
Did
you
the
gotta have
encyclopedia?
time. Yeah, you gotta
Well,
have
there-
time. You gotta have time and resources and like the ability to go to the library and things like that. That I
Like,
didn't
trust
have
me, when I was
when
13, I had plenty
a
of
child.
goddamn time to read Star Wars novels.
I wish.
I used to ride my bike to the library to read troll books. I used to love
I
trolls when I
wish.
was a kid. But
Like-
Jeff, you were dropping some knowledge on us. What race is Ahsoka?
Togruta.
Togruta.
Gesundheit.
And her friend is a Twi'lek?
Probably, yeah.
So tell me this: are those things that they have? Are they hats or are they part of their skin?
No, the you talking about the like the horns and the tentacles?
Sure.
That is part of their body.
Not that part. The thing that they got on there, like the thing, it's like a
Like a pharaoh mask.
how do I let me just find a picture and share a screen.
I'm looking
Yeah.
at it already.
Well, share your screen.
Share
then,
that screen.
please.
You want Ahsoka first?
No.
The other lady?
Yeah.
I think that's a hat covering her horns.
Yeah,
Which
that
part?
is.
And
That's a
That's-
hat.
That's a hat.
That's a hat
Okay.
covering her tentacles.
Okay. Because I always wondered, I was like, it seems like all of them have it. I was like, are they just supposed to be skin? Because I feel like on Ahsoka, this part is supposed to be like that's not a hat. That's not like a headband. That's
Yeah, it
part
is.
of-
It's a headband.
Is it?
Yeah.
Like the leathery part? Yeah,
Will
definitely.
you
Yeah.
click on a picture of her for us?
This is
Yeah.
a headband that she just wears every day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
And is the stripy bit is that her skin?
Yes.
definitely.
Okay, I thought that was like a fur hat to cover.
Yeah, I
her
thought it
horns.
covered the tentacles.
Yeah.
No. That's the way the Togruta are.
They grow their hair that way.
That's not here. I mean,
Yeah, that's definitely not hair.
It
And that's what
might
I
be
thought. I was like,
keratin. You don't
in
know.
I was like, in real life, I feel like okay, yeah, that's something fake. But in fake life, in this pretend universe where people grow these weird things around their heads, out of their heads, that's not hair, that's like fleshy.
Mm.
That yeah, they would have this little leathery part of them too, but I guess not. Okay,
Like the Babylon 5 bald people with the ridges, the bone crest.
I mean, the
Yeah.
Minbari.
Minbari, yes, thank you. Not the Centauri. That was just hair.
Yeah.
indeed. So I want to start a shop then in that universe that just sells different headbands and hats.
And then have a scene where she buys a new one that's just like, ooh,
Yeah.
I like this. This will give me +5 to my lightsaber
More
skill.
color variations and different crystals and stuff in it. I think it'd be pretty neat. And then we could make a jeans one. like Tucker said the lady was wearing.
I'll have the little weird side of the shop that nobody goes to. You want a blue jean hat? Who wants a blue jean hat? I told you could be in here, but you had to stop talking to my customers. One day, these blue jean hats will take off.
And the reason that they wear those headpieces is because the Leku are hypersensitive.
Ah. I just assumed that they had vaginas up there that they had to cover.
Well, practically, it's to hide the special effects where that touches the hairline. But lore-wise, it's because the Leku are erogenous zones that they feel shame if they show.
Mm-hmm.
Made
Unless
that
they're
part up.
sexy dancer types. Arrrr.
But it is canon that they're hypersensitive.
Gives a new meaning to the term topless.
Ooh. You go to a topless Twi'lek bar and it's just they don't have that on their heads.
Mhm.
It's like, oh. Okay. Your nipples are still covered, but I can see all your tentacles.
Hello. Arrr. Sexy. Did we do the audio countdown?
Yeah, we've been recording ever since you talked about how much you've had to drink today. It's been a minute.
Oh well, I've had a lot to drink today, and I'm still drinking now. But
He said
Wow.
with pride for some reason.
Don't dive into it. He was about to start. Shut up, Frakes.
yeah, Frakes, you dumbass, you piece of shit. Nobody likes you, you crap bag.
I know.
All right, well, let's get going, shall we? Greg Verbeek, Flamgadnoid, Nodabakaka, Abragmarg, Just, Shinzolo, Gaforgath, Raiders of the Lark 2.0. Your lander brings you up towards the vessel. The magisterial. Now that you guys can see a beautiful view of it from the outside, you can see the golden resplendent Grand Marchioness Alazana rising towards you as you head from the surface of the resort planet in which you engaged in a
Fishing expedition.
fishing trip that ended violently.
In which we completely and very clearly covered our tracks. There's no evidence to tie us to the death of that avatar.
So as you pull it in and you can see that everything moves in close, you slot into the lift's landing dock and are pulled gently, being readjusted to the Marchioness's unique blend of atmospheric pressure.
I feel like you're reading from like a Harlequin romance novel, the way you just strung those adjectives together.
No, this is all off the top of my head. Actually, once I've had a few drinks, I'm quite loquacious. But as you are pulled into the docking area, the doors open up, and as you step out, you hear the sounds of dozens and dozens of cocking blaster rifles. You can see everyone all around you as you're stepping out of the transport is part of ship security. You see one of them that seems to be wearing a uniform denoting officer rank. Says, "Please surrender your weapons and step out of the transport."
And that's just because you didn't give us time to go over how well we covered our tracks. Just cut it off and then start it up right here. I'm railroad. I'm gonna say it. Railroad and shenanigans right here.
It's you all aboard.
As you're looking out onto this massive crowd of the ship's security team, I need you guys all to make perception checks.
28.
28? All right.
I doubt I see it with a natural 2 for a 16.
Okay.
24.
24? All right.
I think also, 25.
25. All right, so 25 and 24, you guys see that there's a crowd on the other side of the assembled mob of ship security pointing their weapons at the door of your transport, which automatically slides open at the ship's command, or the commander's command. You two, 24 and 25, notice that there is a you see a couple of figures in the crowd that you recognize. One of them is your mangled or mutilated pal that you met at the captain's table. The famous music critic being harangued by a very familiar figure, the goblin journalist, Puzzbutt. Puzzbutt is basically looks like he's basically bombarding him with questions, and the fellow with the few cybernetic limbs and the temporary replacement face is trying to push him away as if he's being extremely annoyed by the fellow. 28, however, you see that there is a small wave moving through the crowd of assembled ship security. The ship security captain says, "Please surrender your weapons and accompany us." And you see that there is a number of video screens that spring to life around them that seem to be showing your assault of Ambassador Kreider from impossible angles. Like, you can see the whole combat being replayed in various clips around the disembarkation station. What are you guys doing?
Admiring myself in the screens. Damn, I look good. even when I'm doing bad.
Proceed forward as if nothing's wrong, and then hand over my weapons.
All right, you proceed
As
forward.
Look exactly like I don't know what y'all talking about, and just hand stuff over.
All right. How about the other two?
I'll surrender my weapon.
All right.
What's the meaning of this?
The Planet Science team has numerous cameras watching for various environmental factors, and you have been detected assaulting a very important member, or rather guest, upon the ship.
That is not us.
We can track your movements from the moment you get down to the time that you commit the assault. Do not attempt to try and fool us. If you're not going to surrender, then we will.
Well, here's my weapon. But I'm telling you, that is not us. This
It is
all a
us.
setup.
It's totally us. The thing is, that's not Kreider. That's an imitation Kreider.
You hear a voice calling from the back of the crowd of the soldiers say, "He's right, you know," and they sort of split, and you see Kreider begin moving through the crowd with a couple of other defensive androids behind him. Yes, these folks have, and I have been undergoing a specialized testing mission of some of our experimental androids. He steps up to your group. Says, "Now all I need them to do is turn over the remainders of what they took in the ending of the experiment. And we can get beyond we can go beyond this, go on with our vacations. After all, this was just a fun exercise, he says, with a sort of unctuous smile aimed toward the group. He holds out his hand. If you don't mind, my data.
Give him some skin. Thanks,
Was the-
boss. Turn to leave.
Was the test successful then?
Oh, yes, quite successful. I'll just need the proof.
Returned his communication packet.
His head, you mean? Yes.
Oh yeah.
You put the severed head into his hands, and before you go, you can see like what the remains of the severed hands. The eye switches towards you, and you think it winks or blinks before he tucks it into a bag and says, "This is all a big misunderstanding. There's no reason to have an intergalactic incident over something that was agreed upon between me and my friends." He gestures towards you.
Yes, think of it as a paintball game.
And I'll actually just start waving at the crowd
Yes.
as if this was all part of it.
He smiles at you and begins to saunter off with his guards, but you see him turn his head and cut his eyes towards you as he heads off out of the way. The ship's security stands down and returns your weapons to you and says, "Please make sure to alert us next time you try to something this violent and showy."
I will actually do a slight bow to the captain and go, I thought Mr. Kreider had already put in the paperwork for that and notified y'all of this stuff.
He had not, and
My apologies.
have a wonderful evening, the captain of the guard says as he takes off the complement of ship's security, leaving you guys into the staging area or the loading area for the drop ships.
Well,
Where do you go from
shit.
Yes. If we go to our quarters and regroup.
Mhm.
Once you get back to your quarters, you get a couple of messages. Some of them are interview requests. Some of them are media requests talking about the quote unquote mix up upon your return from the planet's surface. But one of them is a confirmation of your presenter status during the awards show.
Or
Who is the presenter?
The presenter in this case is Weepskeep, or sorry, not Weepskeep, Zazzy Beats. Yourself, Furling Gride, and Swiggy Scat, the audio cat. You will be presenting the award for Best Songwriter as you requested.
At least we can get one mission done.
So I get with Val Gorth,
There you go.
and
Just learning the character's name after 6 levels. That's nice.
well, it takes a little bit.
we have been 6th level for a while.
Get with him so we can start designing the hollow emitter that we're going to use for y'all to be able to use this presentation. And then you also got to remember that when you hand over the award, you got to make sure he gets connected with the actual paperwork so it can do a digital genetic code read.
okay.
So we make sure we go over all that stuff so we can plan all that out. So how's your sleight of hand?
12?
Pretty good.
That is pretty good.
That's pretty good.
So
Fine.
you probably should use sleight of hand to basically get him with the presentation when you're presenting him the stuff. Hand over the item so it basically will verify that it is him and read. And then we'll use the holo emitter for the presentation.
The reading off of the subpoena.
No, actually, what's his face? Actually, going, "You've been served," which should not go until after the verification of the genetic code.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You guys are given the rest of the evening off.
Before we continue, should we do a media spin? Should we go for, before we go present an award, should we be like, oh yeah, this was all just a big farce?
I'm not.
I mean, Zazzy, the cat, and Ferlin. Should we just say
it adds to our mystery and like people wanting to see if we don't?
So we just decline all offers for interviews.
And then there'll be more people. Make sure more people are tuning in when we're supposed to be up there presenting. Even though, is it known who's presenting? Like this close to the thing, is it more like advertised?
Probably
well, not really. You know that they advertise celebrities that are going to be on, but not like who's doing what on the various media outlets.
Are our names in the advertisement of who, we're going to be on the show?
There are much bigger names here, so no.
Well, then I feel like instead of like actually doing media, just doing like social media and saying, yeah, like, busy right now, prepping for the show, gonna be in the show, blah, blah, blah.
All right. Marcus, of course, is more than happy to start shilling his presence on the show. And of course, the rest of you guys who will be joining him. He says, man, I wish we could have gotten on a little bit of holovision about this. I know you guys had some sort of, what was it? Would you guys do a sparring match with that guy from the dinner the other night? That's crazy.
Basically, yes. We'll just call it that.
Man, you guys are so good at this. I didn't realize we were here to get famous, but you know what? I'm loving it.
Got to show off some of my newer moves.
Okay. Yeah, woo. He begins going over the footage. He's like, man, I can't believe they released all of this onto the HoloNet.
So what you do is you need to grab a selection of our most impressive moments of that. And then as you put that out there, also say, we'll be presenting Best Songwriter at the award show.
Well, I mean, I can't like put it out there like, as a fact, but I could put it out there as a rumor, right? I don't know, like what are we doing?
Make fan edits.
Yes.
Fan cams, of course.
Yeah.
Be sure to include the combat with the brain eater as well. Make us look really, really cool.
We are probably the coolest people on this vessel right now. I'm not gonna lie.
I agree with you. And we need to discuss how we're going to present. Zazzy, are you going to be doing some sweet capoeira kicks and flips?
Oh, you know it.
As you enter the stage, while Squeaky Cat, you ride on my shoulder and I shoot sonic blasts into the sky?
Awesome. Also, I thought about having a crown that does pyrotechnics.
Here's a thought. What if I go out all snow? Never mind. I like that better. Yes, we will be flashy.
All right. He begins his work, and you guys begin your work. Does anybody have any other items they want to cover before the next day.
I need to start working on my routine.
Do we want to discuss anything with the goblin? Scuzzbutt.
Butt.
Was it
Just always just
Scuzzbutt?
reach out and
Fuzzbutt.
Puzzbutt.
Fuzzbutt.
I feel like he oh no, he didn't have cameras on the island. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say he kind of dropped the ball, but he didn't, because we knew he didn't have cameras down there.
No, I'd be interested in seeing if Scuzzbuzz had anything about with Kreider coming back on the ship.
He never left. His
Right,
helmet did.
I know. That's what I'm getting at. Video showing just opposite
Mm. Mm.
of what actually
Yeah.
occurred.
Are you guys contacting him or?
Yeah, if y'all want to.
Well, he's your contact. If you have any like reservations about reaching out to him or any thoughts about it,
Nope. No reservations. He's a disposable dude.
Hey, you contact him, and he immediately picks up, like he's basically just been sitting on the comm link waiting for you. Hey, what's up, guys?
God, you picked that up really fast.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a slow day.
I'm gonna fill him in.
Oh yeah, no, I knew all that. All that got published pretty early.
Any idea?
We thought it was gonna be something, a bit more substantial. But you know what? It's good that you didn't start an intergalactic incident. I'd hate to see you guys executed, before I got any, better intel out of it.
It's nice to know where we stand, Scuzzbutt, Puzzbutt.
Hey, I mean, we're all trying to make a living here.
Yeah. Speaking of which, so we want to know like how we got videotaped. Is that what you were talking about?
we know that. We know that the resort planet has cameras everywhere. They mentioned that.
Right.
But
Yeah, they got a lot of artificial pollinators out there. You know, little robotic insects. They all got cameras.
more so to determine if Kreider went to the planet at all, or if he stayed on the ship, or if he went down and then came back. You know, yada yada.
Yeah.
What his
That's-
movements were.
That's the screwy part, right? Left his suite, you know, with his crew of robots, and then left his suite again later after everyone had gone. Like there's two of him or something. Then, hold on. He begins dragging up some of his files. You see him working pretty diligently. Says, and this one, apparently, there's a third him on the ship somewhere. Here he is down on the beach, like, I don't know, hanging out? Strange.
That's a nude beach. Ah.
I mean, at least a couple of them gotta be robots, right?
Yeah. I think even the one that got the head from us is a robot. Maybe we've never even met the real Kreider. Maybe they're all robots.
I'm actually wondering if he's even on the ship, or if these are just like avatars that he pilots from where he is, safe away from everything. Dude might be 700 pounds and a slug monster.
Pearl!
Yes, he's Pearl from
Pearl
Blade.
from Blade 1. There's a 90s reference.
I thought it was like Blade 3, 2?
No, that was Blade 1. That was the movie
Blade
where
1.
some motherfuckers always try to ice skate uphill.
That's true. There is always some motherfucker trying to skip it.
See, Wesley Snipes played a vampire hunter who's also a daywalker, and he finds Pearl, who's basically a 700-pound slug monster, who gives him information on where Deacon Frost is, who's played by God, I had his name and then lost it because I was trying not to laugh at my own stupid dissertation of Blade.
Is that Ryan Reynolds?
No. It's the oh God, what is his name?
Casper Van Dien.
Nope, not Casper Van Dien.
Oh no, you're talking about the other, not the good.
He got his start in The Gate. Stephen Dorff.
Stephen Dorff.
Dorff.
Not Brad Dorff, Stephen Dorff.
Stephen Dorff.
It was a weird name.
It was also the first time CGI was so horribly done at the end of a movie when he turns into a big blob monster and explodes. Then Blade 2 comes out, which is a phenomenal film and a pickup to the first one. And then the series ends. Don't watch anything else that's called Blade 3. You turn and you run. You do not watch Blade 3.
You don't like Ryan Reynolds?
I really loved Ryan Reynolds in Blade 3.
Oh my God. That movie's
He was
awful.
playing Ryan Reynolds.
So bad.
Who was he playing in that one? Like, he was playing an actual comic book character.
No.
It's gonna kill me.
Blade 3 put me to sleep 5 to 7 days in a row. It's just
Hannibal
so
King.
awful.
He was playing Hannibal King, like a kind of like a fixer guy in the Marvel universe for supernatural shit. Oh, and Parker Posey was in it. Who knew?
So was
Patton
Triple H.
Oswalt is in it.
And some guy playing Count Dracula. And of course Chris Christopherson, who was dead in the last movie, but they undeaded him.
He became a vampire.
Yeah, it was not good. He like his death in the second movie was like really poignant and like impactful.
Yeah.
And then they fucking straight up undid it.
Well, that's because when he went to shoot himself, he was too slow. He had already become a vampire between when his finger started to pull the trigger and ended pulling the trigger. So it didn't kill him.
No, he died in the first one. They brought him back in the second one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think they killed him again in the third one.
Just love beating that Chris Christopherson to death.
Talking about Whistler, right? The guy who played
Yeah.
Whistler? Yeah.
The guy that sings Highwayman.
I only know him as the dude from Blade.
How do you not know Chris Christopherson as from other things?
He went to jail for stabbing a guy.
The good stuff.
That was Blade 4.
No, that was
They
reality.
brought him back again. And he just showed up as a murder hobo. I
right, to be honest-
don't make it.
To be honest with you, his film career was kind of weird. Like it kind of stopped in the like mid '80s and then picked back up again in the 2000s. But
Was he not in the first Hulk movie, or was that Nick Nolte?
I think that was Nick Nolte you're thinking of, playing the Absorbing Man or whatever.
Yeah, with his Hulk dogs.
Oh, dog, the fucking Hulk poodle. Oh, it was
Yes.
the worst.
That's what you get for casting Eric Bana as the Hulk, you assholes.
I didn't think Eric Bana did a bad job. I just thought the rest of the movie kind of sucked, except for the tank fight scene
I was about to say the tank fight.
in the desert. Like, you could just ignore the whole movie other than the tank fight scene and it'd be fine.
Anyway,
That
we
was-
digress.
That was peak Hulk fucking media.
We have digressed off of the game. Back to the game.
Boy, have we.
This all came about because we think Kreider's a 700-pound slug monster, controlling multiple robotic avatars of himself.
Like in the movie Blade. Blade is
Like
like about
in the
Wesley
movie.
Snipes.
Starring.
What trips me up is he had everyone refer to him as Blade through the entire shooting.
That was the third movie. That's why it's awful. I'm sorry, Jeff.
Jeff's like the last Blade Trinity fan. He's like sitting there getting angry, like, you motherfuckers talking about Blade Trinity.
As soon as Stoker started talking about Blade, Jeff went to go smoke.
Jeff's like, I love Triple H in that movie so much.
Forgot he was in that.
Oh, this vampire poodle.
Pomeranian.
Okay, you should watch Blade 3. It's one of the greatest comedies ever made.
It's fucking fantastic. Don't listen to anything we say. It's wonderful. Watch the whole trilogy. Take each part for what it is. Don't let your life be dictated by a bunch of assholes on the internet.
That's just good life advice. All right, assholes, what are we doing? What's our next step here? We have reached out to Puzzbot. We have secured our presentation. We've gone over our choreography.
Write another rap. Let's call it a day.
All right, hang on. What are we doing next, though? What is our next step? Are we
And
just
when
going
is
to?
when is the thing happening?
The next night.
The next night.
Well, are we planning to do anything about this Kreider situation, or just waiting until we get off the ship?
Well, there's no need to try to do something right now because we're already got enough attention on us because of what happened. And there's probably at least 3 people, Kreider, there are 3 versions of Kreider out there. So
I'm going to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that at some point in time in the future, I'll come running through this room because I've seen it already. So I don't need to worry about anything until that happens. I'm basically invincible until that time happens. Otherwise, there'll be a time paradox. Yeah, then I go to sleep and I never wake up.
Because you stabs you in the throat.
Yeah. Oh no.
All right. Well, he goes to sleep. Anybody else? Everybody else? What's going on?
Working out, dancing,
I ain't practicing
social
your
media blitz,
Gotcha.
bedtime.
Gotcha.
I'll do a social media rap. I'll do a freestyle on social media. No, I go to sleep.
All right. Only person up late is Marcus, continuing to plug your various interactions, using his numerous sock puppets, which you find out he has to talk you up.
He's one of those tubers.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's like, you can't let things, you can't let things a chance.
Puppets. At least they're not marionettes.
That would be fun.
He
next
just
morning-
has ventriloquist dummies of all of us.
I mean, just trying to see a cat work a marionette would be hilarious.
All right, so the next morning you are all awakened with your schedules for the day from the awards show. You are asked to be there 4 hours before the program for walkthroughs, etc., which gives you about 6 hours to prepare yourself, get food, do whatever you're doing for the rest of the day. What are you doing?
Well, we
preparing
need
for the
to,
rest of the day.
yeah, we need to get that transponder set up so that we can hook that up to the hollow broadcaster.
That'll be something you have to do once you get there. So
right, but we can build it here.
Oh yeah,
No, it's already been built.
Okay.
Yeah, it's definitely already been built by this time.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna wait till the day of the stupid thing to try to do this thing. No, and the thing's already got it downloaded, basically download from him, because we weren't waiting for a live transmission. Because if something happens and they block the transmissions, then it won't happen. So we just downloaded the stupid thing into the thing, and then y'all can, as soon as you get the verification that the genetic code is the match, you can go ahead and present the hollow thing. Pretty much, you just put it on the ground, throw it on the ground, and it should do the hollow presentation.
All right.
Just make sure when you leave the room that you always check. Make sure you do not have laser sights on your person. Always be expecting a sniper round.
Right.
Watch your
the
backs,
day-
that's all I'm saying.
ABE.
The day carries on uneventfully as you guys prepare for your big media blitz on the awards show. Let me see. You go on without too much of a hitch. You get, of course, numerous invites for pre-show interviews, usually from smaller outfits. Like you're guessing that the bigger outfits are getting the bigger names coming to talk to them. But you get one in particular that is of note. One of them is from your goblin media expert. Husbut says, "Hey, can one of you guys do an interview with me?"
I see those hands going up really fast.
Who should it be?
So Zazzy and Marcus and Ferlin are going to be busy 4 hours beforehand. So I think the three of us are kind of out.
Oh, just magically you guys are busy?
We have to be there 4 hours ahead of time.
All right. I'll go hang out with this nasty goblin.
You brought him on board. This
Yeah,
is
for
your
phone
problem.
calls. I didn't know I was going to hang out with him for too long.
He's your problem now, pal.
All right, Mod Sirius, singer-songwriter, goes down the long intership lift, looking at beautiful floor after beautiful floor as he goes further and further into the depths of the vessel, where you are once again at a seedy employee bar in the lower dregs of the ship. Hey, great. I was hoping to talk to you. Though, I gotta say, your video guy, real standoffish.
Our video guy?
It's Jeff.
As I pop up right behind him.
Oh, hey, oh my gosh.
Wait, if you're here, you do the interview. I turn on, get on the elevator, go back up.
Yeah, he says, I got free drinks for both of you, don't worry.
The hand slowly moves away from the call elevator button.
He ushers you over to one of the employee cocktail lounges and sits you down at a booth. And he begins plugging in some a little bit of equipment into the nearby seats, creating a privacy screen. He's like, all right, groovy, wonderful. Okay, so I know your friends are doing presenting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Any chance you can give me like a heads up on who they're presenting to?
I don't know who they're presenting to per se off the top of my head, but I do know Zazzy Beats has a magnificent dance number, and then I spend the next few minutes horribly reenacting the little bit that I saw her trying out her dance beats.
All right. I know you're like, kind of new to the entertainment biz.
I'm trying here.
So, did you have any plans for, like, after the cruise?
Yeah.
Such as?
Yeah.
It's a new secret project that we're working on.
Just working on some new music.
Awesome. Are you working with anybody we know?
No.
He stops his recorder and says, are you sure you want to go with no?
Oh, you know, that business that happened with Kreider, he's actually going to be on a track with us here coming up soon.
Awesome. He starts to record again. Come on, don't hold out on us.
Well, I wasn't supposed to say anything, and then I repeat that Kreider's going to be on a rap track with us.
I love that intergalactic cooperation vibe you guys bring to your new sound, which is, I'm told, quite good.
Yeah, it's going to be a song about like him trying to blow us up with a bomb and us surviving anyway, and then like us tracking him down here and like trying to kill him, but just stealing some stuff and then discovering that he's a robot after all. You know, like basic new wavy kind of punk rock, you know?
Shit, a concept album. I like it.
The rock opera.
Oh.
He asks you a couple more bland questions and finishes the interview with, okay, so it's been great to have you. Thanks for coming on my vlog. And everyone, please like and subscribe. Check out my various links on the link path, and also Patreon, which is also in the future where we are now. It's real, and you should totally subscribe to me and Homebrew and Tridents and various other projects that we do. All right.
Good episode plug.
The goblin stops his recording and says, hey, thanks for letting me use your tickets for the show. It's gonna be great.
Have I given you those tickets yet?
Huh?
I've given him the tickets already?
As far as I know, unless you haven't.
Yeah, that's fine.
He says, he looks like he's got his facial expression, insofar as you can read a goblin facial expression other than like maniacal glee and destructive impulse, is guarded, like he's trying to like decide whether or not to ask you something.
Ask.
Yeah.
What's the worst that we could do? Say no?
He says, I like you guys a lot. You've really been helpful.
And so have you.
Look, if you want to be a part of the crew, you can ask, but we're going to have to say no. We've got one guy that's already voicing a cat, a robot, and basically everything else in the universe. And just another reoccurring character might be too much for him at this time.
She says, nah, it's fine. But I do want to, like, give you a heads up. Does the stuff you're wearing have magnetic boot capability?
I don't think so.
I don't think it does either.
I've got jetpacks though.
He says, I guess that'll do. You see him get an alert on his various pieces of equipment. He says, shit, I gotta go. Thanks for the interview, guys. And disappears out of the leading you guys into the crew section of the ship in one of their bars. Like, kind of not getting the stink eye by the crew from the crew, but like, you know, being widely avoided by them.
What a strange question to hit us with there at the end that I'm sure will not come up at all later in this adventure.
No, not ever, ever.
Magnetic boots.
They're actually a separate item.
Yeah, I mean, if he's assuming we're going to spacewalk or this place is going to lose gravity at some point, I guess that would be nice to have, but y'all will figure it out. I can fly.
All right, so when you get back to your room, you can see your teammates about to head down for the pre-show practice session, like basically like, everybody getting their places, learning their parts, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So after you guys get together, talk about your interview with Puzzbot and adjust your equipment accordingly, since you guys decided to trust him on that one. Most of you, right?
Yeah.
All of us, I think.
I mean, I can fly, so I'm not super worried about it.
All right.
Maybe I should be, but I'm not.
All right. The evening progresses, and the three of you who are there going to be in the awards show, like presentation section, head down there and are met by Mr. Marangas, who, if you recall from your dinner with the captain, was the mutilated music critic who had volunteered to, or rather had been employed to, arrange things for the award show. His voice expresses a gladness to meet you, though his face is pretty stilted, being nothing more than a weird rubbery white sheet stapled over his skull. He says, "Well, it's wonderful to see you all. I'm ecstatic for your presentation tonight." He begins passing off sheets to you. He's like, "Here are the time stamps when you need to be out on the stage. Now, if you need to practice anything, or if you're doing any comedy bits, please inform the director about how much time you'll need, and any sort of specialized video presentation." And he heads off, interacting with other celebrities, minor celebrities, flavors of the week, etc., etc., etc.
Do we want to tell them that we have a specialized video presentation, saying that it is a former mentors or former associates of Joey Coco?
We can see if they put the thing through, but quite honestly, I probably wouldn't. Just because if they're going to look through static video, they're going to watch it before it gets played.
So we'll just do this guerrilla style.
Right.
And do I need to hook this up to like the screen behind me, or is it just going to be something I throw down that shows a big ass hollow?
It'll be a hollow presenter.
Right.
Okay, but still, let's just tell them we need, whatever amount of time.
What is it, like 2 minutes? A minute?
Yeah, something like that.
We'll just do it while you're dancing.
Yeah, like I feel like whatever we do, like it should seem like it's a part of the performance.
So after we hand off the award, you will dance, drop the hollow, and while you're dancing, the hollow will say, "Hey, you've been served."
Yeah, it sounds like a plan.
Okay. That works for me.
All right. You guys are escorted to a practice area where you guys can go over your routine for the evening. You've been given like a script of acceptable jokes from the academy. However, like, they are optional if you do not have anything to say. Basically, they've just given you something to fall back on in case you do not have the wherewithal to present properly. The award show, staff and crew, you three watch them basically busy themselves, setting up shots, testing lights, doing a few skit practices and things like that. Looks like they've been at it all week for the most part. You guys are just here at the end, and in an emergency capacity, according to some of the crew. There's like, "Oh yeah, we've had a lot of dropouts since the cruise started." A lot of people are not happy with Marangus being here, but I mean, everybody's got to make a living, right? The day continues on until finally it begins to draw up to the hour of the presentation. The who's who of the recording industry begins to make their way down the lifts toward the grand ballrooms of the ship. The golden resplendent Grand Marchioness Alazena opens her doors in an exceptionally ostentatious way. The crew is turned out in their finest. Everything is perfect for the Trans System Holowave Council of Musical Arts Awards Gala. And as you can see, the numerous holo networks are basically getting all kinds of angles from all kinds of celebrities going in, including you guys as you go in. Like, they are trying to get as much exposure, as much pop, as much interest into this show as possible. There is two live orchestras, one for when the other gets tired, that are playing almost entirely through the whole thing. Some of them pop tunes, some of them classics. And as the three of you, two of you, take your seats next to Puzzbutt. That would be Andre and Motsirius and Puzzbutt taking 3 seats with two additional seats left blank beside them. You look out over the stage and you see that it is just this wonderful confectionery kind of exquisitely designed performance space. It's not hard to marvel at the artistry of the holographic artists, the set dressers, the costumers, the set designers. Everything here is just par excellence, as everything fires up once again, and the show begins as more and more celebrities move in. People are getting interviewed up until the point where they take their seats, where the ship's security begins to push the media back towards the doors, leaving the celebrities there in peace for once on this whole ship, as they watch their colleagues and friends and enemies get rewarded for the wonderful works they've done in the recording industry. Music flares up and the show begins. Those of you who are in the audience watch as the Rickenbach Six take Album of the Year. Spiebel Pon Prant takes Best Holo Video of the Year. Rico Fermi and the Paradoxes take Best Future Performance. The Radioactive Skulls take Best Revival. Wang Cemetery are given a Lifetime Achievement Award. And Face Ripper and the Face Rippers are basically given a live performance spot where only 3 or 4 people die, which is a rarity for them. Finally, once the industry awards turn to the technical and artistic achievements beyond the things that are most obvious, getting around to Songwriter of the Year. The awards come up, and 3 presenters, which take the stage. Zazie Beetz, Swiggy Scat, and of course, Celebrity Corpse, Furling Bride take the stage. You are handed an envelope envelope for Lingride. And in order to just wing it, make it you. Make it something special. He gives you a wink and passes you off the envelope and pushes you out there. What are you saying to this massive crowd of entertainment luminaries?
Waving as Squeaky Cat rides on my shoulder, firing off pyrotechnics from his crown, as Zazie Beetz does some capoeira dance flips to get out there. We get to the podium. We set Squeaky Cat down in front of the microphone as Zazie Beetz and Berlingride flank on either side. I am so happy to have been invited to this gathering of intellectuals and artistic types. This is a bit beyond my particular expertise for now. I am growing, but it is amazing that I have made it this far. I'm so happy to have Zazie Beetz with me.
This is awesome.
Yes, we have braved quite a few harrowing trials to be here, not the least of which my ex-wife. Pause for laughter.
Okay, you get it. In generous supply.
And
one boo.
but we are here to present for the Songwriter of the Year award. I read off some of their safe jokes.
Okay.
Because I have nothing prepared. Let's Squeaky Cat have a few moments to say anything if he wishes.
All right, Squeaky Cat basically blurts in and says, "Hey, everybody, we got a collab coming up. I want you to check out all our links, yada, 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 blah, 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 blah. Also, we're here to honor an incredibly amazing songwriter. Go ahead and hit it, man."
And pull out the envelope. It is none other than... Does it say Joey Coco?
It does say Joey Coco.
Joey Coco, or as I like to call him, Chocolate Joey.
Right. The orchestra picks up and like the cameras turn to Joey Coco. Like he's so amazed, so happy. You see his hands go to his big bucktooth ratty mouth, and he's utterly shocked and begins moving his way down the aisle, trundling his way toward the front of the stage and climbing up. You see a podium or a sub-podium rise underneath the regular podium that he can climb up on to take control of the mic. He says, "Oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. This is amazing. Thank you so much. Oh my, I don't know what to say."
As we hand off the award, I want to do the DNA test.
Sure.
Do I need a sleight of hand for that?
Yeah, give me one.
21.
All right. Joey Coco is grasping towards the award, giving you ample opportunity to take the swatch of his DNA.
Test.
You see it immediately confirm as he takes the trophy toward his bosom, tears streaming down his ratty face.
And
So Zazie has been just kind of starting to slowly twirl around Joey Coco from the moment he got on stage, just sort of like ramping up for a big dance moment. And now that it's been confirmed, she's gonna go ahead and just imagine Zazie Beetz channeling Julia Stiles to do a little bit of ballet blended with some hip hop, some jumping and some crumping.
Right.
And just kind of whipping up to a fantastic split. And
as we have planned, when she is not quite at the climax of her dance move, I will hit the hollow projector.
All right. As Zazie Beetz dance amps up and begins to spiral toward her climactic finish, a hollow projector of Alexander Nevermind pops up behind. He says, Joey, Coco, it's been wonderful to see you here tonight. And I want to personally thank you for accepting the court summons that will bring you to my planet, the planet Jeeks, to stand trial for all the slander and utter, and you see a explosion of static basically wipe out the hologram that you set up, and every screen and holographic projector around you picks up the same kind of static explosion, and you see the horrible like gelatinous mask of Brostus Marangus appearing on screen. Meanwhile, in the audience, you two see a horrified look come across Puzzbud's face as he begins to excuse himself and head out to the aisles and head up the way. The image on all the screens of Marangus, the mutilated critic, begins to speak. Well, thank you all for joining us tonight. I'm sorry I had to cut short whatever important presentation was going on, but I have something of an important announcement myself. The award show in which you are participating has been, I'm afraid, canceled for the evening in order for me to, let's say, indulge myself in a bit of artistic interpretation. I'd like to give my critique of the whole music industry in a performance piece I call Everyone Dies. You guys see bits of but dust come up from the carpeting and begin to float slightly upwards as everyone in the crowd begins to murmur in an upset fashion. Marangus continues, now, I'm not saying this is something that is trivial. This is an important piece that I want everyone to participate with. You are co-collaborators with me on this. And then those of you without magnetic boots see a few people begin to slowly float up out of their seats, panicking and scrabbling at the air. There's an important thing that I was not taught in my media studies classes and my long years of music criticism that I feel like everyone ought to know, that maybe the music industry is an entire sham built on deranged cultist behavior. And behind him, you see the camera angle out to a number of hooded creatures of various species behind him, begin murmuring and groaning some sort of unknowable chant. You see his skull underneath the gelatinous mask as he begins to unpin it, flop open, and says, I'm here to preach the truth to all who are watching tonight. And the truth is, there is nothing here that is worth saving. You see him reach off screen, pressing a lever or two, and then suddenly the whole crowd of the orchestra flies upward to the ceiling. their screams, many die. And suddenly you are looking down, or looking up from the floor, or looking down from the ceiling, at a horror show of injured and terrified people that begin scrambling their way across the vaulted ceilings of this great ballroom towards the doors. When next time we meet, we'll indulge in a little music criticism. Tucker.
Good call on the mag boots.
There was a teaser in the middle of this episode that told you what you should do, so hopefully you were paying attention. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Bye.